Hi, this is part 2 of my Star Stable story series. We have just arrived at the Moorlands stables with Maya. Maya tells us Moorlands stables is run by Thomas and his son Justin, and Justin is waiting for us in the courtyard to teach us about horse care. We run over to the boy named Justin. He introduces himself and teaches us how to take care of our horse. After seeing us take care of our horse, Justin thinks we're ready for a challenge, and believes Loretta, the co-leader of the Bobcats, could teach us about competitions. Justin leads us to the paddock where we meet Loretta. She says that the Bobcats only accept the best, and she wants to test our riding skills by seeing if we can ride in each gate for 5 seconds. We do just that and talk to her again. She tells us if we want to make it in the Jorvik riding scene, we have to aim higher than just safely practicing in paddocks, and that we should never settle for anything short of greatness. Loretta then introduces us to Tan, her fellow club leader. She teaches us about races and asks us to try the Bobcats' basic training course. She says we did quite well for our first try, and that we and our horse seem to be meant for each other. After talking to Tan, we go back to Justin again. He wants us to meet his dad Thomas, so he takes us to meet him. We go to Thomas and see him in the middle of an argument with a man named Mr. Campbell. Apparently, Mr. Campbell wants to tear down the stable and build luxury condos instead. Mr. Campbell leaves and we introduce ourselves to Thomas. Thomas says he needs proof that he owns the land to stop Mr. Campbell, but he needs more time to find proof of the ownership, so he asks us to go disable some of GED's GPS equipment while he tries to figure something out. So we go with our horse and kick the equipment so it breaks. We return to Thomas, who says we should turn their power off to buy even more time. He tells us the code to their power box and asks us to turn their power off. We turn the power off and head to Thomas once again. He says he needs to find the deed for the stable, since it should say the stable belongs to him. He tells us that the land was owned by the Holtbrooks before, but Jasper Holtbrook offered the land to Thomas and Catherine, Jasper's daughter, as a wedding gift. Thomas suggests that his accountant, Mrs. Holdsworth, might have the deed, so we ride to her cottage and she invites us to talk over some tea. She tells us she isn't Thomas's accountant and has just helped him a few times with his business. She says the deed never actually made it to Thomas and Jasper still has it, since Jasper never gave it to Thomas since he blamed Thomas for Catherine's death, and they haven't spoken since. Holdsworth tells us we might find Jasper at his old barn, so we go to the old barn to see if he's there. Luckily, old man Jasper is in fact at the barn cleaning, but he says he doesn't care if the Moorland stables gets torn down, since he believes Thomas only married his daughter for the land and doesn't grieve her like Jasper himself does. He tells us to leave, but we offer our help with cleaning the barn, which he agrees on. We clean the surrounding area and find a box with Catherine's old things. We rummage through the box and find a baby blanket, a wedding photo, and a letter addressed to Dad. Jasper gets angry at us for looking through his daughter's stuff and tells us to leave. He only asks for the letter back and says we can take the rest of the stuff for all he cares. So we take the blanket and photo to Justin. Justin is shocked we met his grandfather and that Jasper thinks that Thomas only married Catherine for her money. Justin even tells us the stables were his mom's idea. She dreamt of opening a stable for girls from all over the world to experience the joy of bonding with a horse on Jorvik. Justin says the letters between his dad and mom talk about all this, and if Jasper saw them, there would be no way he'd let her dream die. Justin takes his mom and dad's letters, and we go back to Jasper. After seeing the letters and how much Catherine cared for the stables, Jasper says he's been a fool and he won't let the stables go down. Jasper tells us the deed is buried behind the lighthouse. We take a shovel and go dig it up. Jasper asks us to hand the deed to Thomas. He also tells Justin how sorry he is for everything and hopes they can make up, which Justin gladly agrees on. Thomas then comes to get Justin to help with the horses as Mr. Campbell is on his way. Will we quickly show them the deed and Mr. Campbell has to agree on leaving? So he says they have a senior citizen home to tear down anyway. So he drives towards Milmer's Highland on the construction machine and makes a huge stone fall on the road on the way up. Thomas thanks us for saving the stables and tells Jasper he should visit the stables too. He then heads back to the stables with Justin. And that was it for this part. The dialogue has changed a lot from when I first played this quest. I hope you enjoyed it and will continue at Merle's Stables next time.